Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today we got a whole episode. We realised that we've got a load of weird news that we've never used. And it's not crap, it's just for some reason it slipped through the net. It's just as weird.
It's got too much.
We've just got literally a metric shit ton of it.
The last two recorded sessions, I believe we went for almost an hour of weird news before we got into the major topic of the week. So
there's a lot of shit out there.
Yeah, a lot of weird shit. So we're going to bang through some weird news stories with our usual charm, wit and irreverence.
And aplomb.
And offensive humour, yes, and aplomb. So, you calling me a plum?
Yeah, whatever.
We've got a bit of reggae box coming up.
Yeah,
Yay.
we actually have a reggae box now.
A physical reggae box.
Mm.
Do you realise though, Ben, now this is how, it's a bit new agey, but when you put the thing in the physical reggae box, it's gone then. You have to let go of it from your consciousness and your spirit. It's gone.
You know I don't go for that shit.
That's going to be the answer.
And you're less bitter. You're going to fill this box with bitterness.
Yeah.
And then you are going to come week by week less and less.
But then there won't be a reggae box anymore, and we'll lose the feature.
But we'll have Ben's box of love. What do you love this week, Ben?
Ben's box of love is just a bag full of semen that I froze years ago and stuck in a box in the freezer.
Please don't bring that in.
Yeah, it's Mike's flag. Doesn't want that in the living room.
It was a show mascot one day.
Ben's crusty spunk box.
I've got a freezer full already.
I did it in an ice cube tray. Just stuck it in the freezer.
Oh no!
It's cheaper than a sperm bank, mate.
Does sperms freeze? Oh yeah, I guess it does.
Cheaper than a sperm bank.
Wow. Oh well.
But never. If Mike ever asks if you want ice, I wouldn't have it if I were you.
It's like your new venture now, is it?
My sperm bank shit. I'm trying to repopulate the human race with just my semen.
Oh dear God.
Oh Lord, it doesn't bear thinking about it. So welcome to the show.
It'll be a veritable utopia.
Don't you think it would be full of war bastards stabbing each other in the head?
No, I'm not a violent guy.
But you hate everything.
Yeah. Who doesn't? I don't hate everything.
Something. A lot of things. Anyway.
So hopefully by the end of this, the reggae box will have cleansed the darkness of your soul.
Oh, but I won't be as interesting.
We should probably explain, if this is your first episode, Ben hates a lot of things, but one of the things he hates the most is reggae.
It's all shit.
So...
It's all got the same riff.
It's an irrational hatred, but there's a special box for reggae and all the other things Ben irrationally hates. Sometimes rationally, I saw that look. Will get figuratively put into the reggae box and assigned to the damnation.
Oblivion,
yes, oblivion.
When it's full, I suppose I have to pay NASA to fire it into the sun or something.
That's a shill.
Do you think I'd be fucking sat here if I was a NASA shill? I'd be loaded in it.
Yeah, you're a mole.
But just I don't believe in the flat Earth, which apparently a third of millennials do.
Oh, is it that high?
Apparently so, according to some random poll I saw. But I just looked at it and thought, they're not that dumb, are they? Mind you, Snapchat filters, who knows?
Is it the same third of millennials who have a tiny, ineffectual penis?
Possibly.
I believe
it's the ones who aren't getting laid, I think.
I think the two migrate, the two facts.
It's the ones that are sat in their room just masturbating constantly and looking at the internet.
It's alarming how quickly it spread, but I do hope the fact remains that I heard somewhere that the vast majority of them, I hope, are just trolling us. They're trolling us, not the other way around. They know it's not flat, but they know how much it pisses off right-minded people by claiming it. So I just take some comfort in the fact that a lot of it is us being trolled. I hope. God, I hope. I really hope. They don't believe in satellites.
But they're happy to use a mobile phone.
Exactly.
I have a very similar news article to that, actually.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
speaking
not
of
about the
that-
flat Earth, but it's on that sort of same level.
Okay, so speaking of weird news, shall we get into it, boys?
Yes.
What's the first one, Mike?
Richest 1% on target to own 2/3 of all wealth by 2030.
I actually sent you that as a genuine article, not for weird news, but fair enough.
Oh, right, sorry.
I think I sent you that like Thursday because I know you love it, you hate a bit of inequality, Mike. So I thought I'd send you that to piss you off.
Inequality doesn't cover it, really, does it?
But it does-
2/3.
I suppose it does tie in with our banking
Wow.
episodes recently. Check them out if you haven't.
Now I'm terrible at maths. What's 2/3 in a percentage?
66.6.
Right. So wow. Thanks. I'm impressed. 66.6% of the wealth of the world is owned by 1% of the people.
Is that the income of the beast?
Hey!
Is that King of Puns? Thank you very much.
Sex! 2/3 of 100! Yeah, man. Well, wow. By 2030. What does it actually mean? Let's unpack this and make this concrete and how we can actually think of it. What does that actually mean in tangible terms? 1% of the population.
7 billion.
So 1% of that, I can't do
Is
that.
70 million.
Probably. Don't know why you're looking at me.
That's more than I was thinking. So the elites is a big fucking group.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 million is a lot, but not in
I'm not
7 billion.
compared to 7 billion, no.
I suppose you're talking world. Every rich
it's more
person.
than I thought.
I mean, there's quite a few millionaires, a few hundred millionaires in the UK, if not certainly probably 1,000 or so.
Yeah.
And in America, how many millionaires have you got? So it's across the globe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, as an average, I think it's possibly doable. There's always some rich bastard in a shithole, isn't there? Some poverty-stricken little third world country. The bloke in charge has always got a shitload of money.
Well, the next line underneath the headline is world leaders urged to act as anger over inequality reaches tipping point. But what's their motivation to, quote, act? What the
Well, they're
fuck?
going to, are they?
Well, they're not.
They're the ones who are
Exactly,
taking the
that's what I
money.
mean.
They're part of the 1% more than likely.
They love it. They're in a special
Of
club.
course.
They're in a very special club.
They want the status quo to remain, don't they?
So what are they going to be happy with then? Until they have everything and we're just living in the dirt? Or what? Because we've got to have something, otherwise we just overthrow them. They're at 1%. They've got to give us some kind of stick. Some carrot, haven't they?
That's the trouble with greed, isn't it? They want more and more.
Yeah, but eventually people just get pissed off
Of
and rise up
course.
against them.
Of course, it's happened throughout history.
What we need to do is instead of trying to figure out how do we get them to share the wealth a little bit, we need to figure out, if you think of it in those terms, 1% when you hear it like that sounds impenetrable, sounds tiny. When you say 70 million, I know comparatively in 7 billion that's not much, but 70 million, that's a lot of people. How do we become one of those people?
That's also an interesting point.
How do we join the 70 million? How do I get in on that? Do I just super suck my way to the top of the corporate ladder?
Well, if we've looked at stuff, take stuff we've learned over the course of this podcast adventure, usually involves killing children.
Bit of sacrifice. Well, no, maybe I don't have to actually sacrifice the child, but I need to attend the sacrifice of a child. You know.
Or snuff parties, something like that, you know.
Money's pretty good. I could be persuaded. No, I'm joking. But how do I legitimately, without killing children, become one of those 70 million? I need an incredibly successful company.
That's it, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to be given money through
advertising. You need to take the money from them in a way. You need to get them to pay your way in, don't you?
Yeah, inherit. If you got a rich aunt.
Fuck no.
Illegal activities, drug selling.
Ooh, that is more attractive. Become a drugs kingpin. That is way more likely than me succeeding in the corporate world.
I can
just
just see-
succeeding in the criminal world.
But I can just see a Scarface style scenario at the end of this.
For fuck's sake, every venture I go on, according to Ben, ends with me losing my mind, disappearing up my own ass, and like, you know, it all
Yeah,
going
but
wrong.
Gaz,
I'll keep it on top.
Don't get high on your own supplies. You trust yourself not to do that.
Fuck no, of course I'm going to be
So
high
that's
on
why
my
it all
supply.
goes wrong. And we'd all do it.
Say hello to my little friend.
So there's very little chance of us getting into that 1%. Very little. There's there's virtually no social mobility in this country.
Not unless you went to some posh school, Mike.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Then what happened?
Yeah, but you're there. The wheels have been greased. You might want to stroll into a top bank wearing your old school tie. Think about it.
Not going to happen.
No, but it's a possibility.
Nah.
The chances of us joining. Okay, so back to the drawing board. Then I'm not going to become one of the 70
there
million.
is you've already got one in motion, which is the religious side of things, the cult, because they're tax free. Look at Joel Osteen and that. I mean, he's one of the richest people in the church in America. He's got like a 30 million, probably more than that, mansion and a private jet and a mega church. I mean,
here's a radical idea. Here's a radical idea. Why don't we not let the top 1% suck up all the wealth, and we change it so the wealth is distributed fairly?
well, that would also
How
be
do
nice.
we do? How do we start?
Taxing the rich, estate taxes.
Robin
the
Hood.
rich, rob from the rich, feed the poor.
Take private property, give it back to the poor, give it back to the people.
Sounds a lot like communism.
Hey,
I'm down with it.
I'm up for anything at the moment. If I've been thinking about this more than I normally would. Is that if me and Leona, if it's going to work out, we're going to stay together. I'm going to need more money. I really like those kids as they get older. I'm going to need more and more things.
Yeah, they're going to drain your finances.
Yeah.
So that's what kids do.
I'm going to need more money. And I've been sitting there racking my brain like, how the fuck does one go about bettering oneself? It all needs money in the first place. I can't go back to uni.
That's why
I can't take 3 years off fucking work.
That's why the system's fixed.
Fuck.
If you got money, you can make money.
Yeah.
And you can
Money always goes to money.
Yeah. If you haven't got money to begin with, you're fucked.
My only options are basically do like an evening course that I'll have to pay for anyway.
Yeah.
But what the fuck can you do? You can't get a degree in the evenings. You get some sort of practical vocation.
Yeah.
What am I going to learn to lay bricks? Nearly 40 years old. Like, what am I going to do?
Win the lottery.
That's one of my biggest plans, mate.
I spent my entire wages on lottery tickets, kids.
We're not fucking rich yet.
If we don't win, you're not eating for the rest of the month.
Better get out there and beg. Yeah, it's fucked, and I know what you're saying, like social. Because I never used to think about this because I've had the luxury of being a selfish, self-centered bastard for a number of years.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, not had to worry about anybody else. And now just one eye on the future, thinking, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck. I need money. I need the money, basically, to take 3 years off work to go back to university. That's never going to fucking happen. I'm never going to be in a position to take 3 years off.
Have more debt at the end of it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's nuts.
And what are you going to do when you've done them 3 years?
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, there's no fucking guarantee, is there? Just because you've got that degree, there's no fuck. I would have to probably do another year and train as a teacher. That would be the only plan I think I could.
But that might actually be a pay cut while you're training, and you've got the debt. Well, you won't have to pay that off to a certain point, will you? But depends if you get a grant or a loan.
Very true.
Yeah, if you go to the bank for it, then they're going to want the money back.
So I'm fucked, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or we change the system,
and
which is corrupt at the moment. We make it fair.
And they share some stuff with me
That's
so
it.
we can buy a brand new car
Instead
instead
of
of
billions
an
of
old one.
pounds stored in the Cayman Islands,
Yeah, that's not doing fuck all, just making more money.
Yeah.
it can go to improving people's lives.
Viva la revolution.
Indeed.
God damn. Well, should we read some of this article? We've discussed our feelings. Should we give a little bit of a... Is there any...
Yeah. Should we do the... World leaders have been warned that the continued accumulation of wealth at the top will fuel growing distrust and anger over the coming decade unless action is taken to restore the balance.
No shit, Sherlock.
An alarming projection produced by the House of Commons Library suggests that if trends seen since the 2008 financial crash were to continue, then the top 1% will hold 64% of the world's wealth by 2030. Even taking the financial crash into account and measuring their assets over a longer period, they would still hold more than half the wealth. So that is a bit fucking wank for the rest of us, isn't it?
Yep.
But hang on, so So we're still going to get more. We're still going to get some sort of money, but the more money that's created is going to go in their pockets.
Of course.
And it's just...
It's increasing, it says in the next paragraph. Since 2008, the wealth of the richest 1% has been growing at an average of 6% a year, much faster than the 3% growth in wealth of the remaining 99% of the world's population.
Wow.
Well, we started on a depressing note.
Yeah. Let's, so basically, it's not good. It's not looking good. We need a bit of a change.
But what's their motivation to change then?
Well, you got to force that change, haven't you?
It's got to come from below.
Like in France when they had revolutions.
Yeah. Storm the Bastille, get Madame Guillotine back out.
Yeah. Well, I'm up for other people doing it. I'll stand at the sides and go, yeah.
Holding a pitchfork and a turnip.
I don't want to get my hands dirty. I don't want to be any like actual, I don't want to be fighting any army men. But I'll be at the side, go, yeah.
It's like a revolution cheer.
Oh, that was molesting a cow.
He did move his fist in a kind of fisting motion.
Oh, I wish this was visual.
I bet the height of a cow's backside.
That's the key to it. Did you see? A very smooth, fluid movement.
Yeah.
Not too forceful, not too quick. Smooth and gentle. Not that I've fisted many cows. Moving on. Moving. See what I did there?
So, to sum up, the way things are going, we're fucked. Need to change.
Yeah.
But the 1% will be alright.
They'll be alright, yeah.
They're laughing. Bastards. All 70 million of them.
I thought a welcome return to Nibiru for the next one.
Oh, fantastic.
Some new Nibiru news.
Fantastic.
NASA are accused of covering up a killer planet conspiracy for decades by, and I'm going to use the exact termination of the quote, expert.
I've been banging on about this since we covered it. NASA used to be all on the planet X. I saw videos where they talked about it, and then something made them change their tune.
Well,
what?
Well, I think the point is with it is like they said, yeah, there's every chance there could be another planet out there. But it's never going to collide with us. It's never going to be anywhere near us. It's obviously so far out that we can't see it. And if there was this Nibiru that's going to rock up one day and either... The reports are conflicted, aren't they? It's either going to smash into us and kill us all, or the Anunnaki are going to show up and enslave us and put us to work in their gold mines, or they have sex with all the women.
Hey. No, they have sex.
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't end up well for us in either scenario.
No. Right, so... I think the NASA's point is, look, there may well be a planet out there, but it's not this, and that's not going to happen because we'd have seen it by now. If it was, we'd just been able to see it for the last 20 years if it was coming at us. You can't miss a planet, especially one supposed to be 10 times the size of Earth. You can't miss that, can you? Surely.
I don't know. We're not astrophysicists.
Yeah, but they've taken a lot of photos of space, and I know there's a lot of space out there.
It's quite
but
big.
I'm pretty sure that we've seen something 10 times the size of us coming at us by now.
Yeah. Depends how far away it is.
Yeah, it's meant to be like literally coming right at us.
That's
quote South Park.
Even if it's like, what, 10 times as far as Pluto, if it's 10 times as big as us,
Yeah.
we'd still be able to see it.
Yeah.
That's the bit where I get really confused though, because
We better see it in the night sky if it had entered the solar system, surely. I mean,
take away all the Anunnaki stuff about the idea that it's going to come into our orbit and wipe us out. No, forget all that. NASA back in the day used to quite happily talk about, there's a 10th planet.
yeah, they did.
And now they've changed the tune. Because probably of all the Anunnaki conspiracy stuff that's come up since, and then wanting to distance themselves
Exactly.
from that shit. But I just find it really fucking interesting that I watched official NASA videos when we did that episode, and some guy, he was like quite, happy to talk about, like, there could be Planet X. So I don't know. So there's something weird going on there. They don't want us to know about it. Probably because this is why we can't have anything nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
the conspiracy theorists have ruined it and hijacked it. I'm looking at you two. Not me. But yeah, we've attached all this Zachariah stitching stuff to it. And NASA are probably like, well, fuck, I don't want nothing to do with that.
And biblical chap, I forgot his name. He was the one, the numerologist.
Oh,
who just worked out some numbers in the Bible and went, oh yeah, look at that.
Clues
That's
in
a
their
date.
name. Numerologists. They are There's a special place in the hallways of the Hall of Fame of wankery.
The avenues of crap jobs.
Dedicated to fucking numerologists. I mean,
Christian numerologists at that.
Oh Lord.
Oh lordy lord.
Because that's the thing. It's like it's just there's a certain smugness when some of these these Christian dedicated Christians. Cause it's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, and the world's going to end and I'm going to go to heaven. Fuck the lot of you lot. That's the impression you seem to get, isn't it? Like,
well, I'm going to heaven because on my deathbed, if I get a chance, I'm just going to repent.
well, that's the plan, isn't it? I mean,
Say sorry and all that, and then, whoo, jobs are good.
no, I'm just going to be a stubborn cunt. I'll take my chances.
Well, as I learned today in David Icke's book, the modern Christian religions are just mental prisons designed to contain us all. A patchwork of stolen ideas from other more ancient religions, sun worshipping ones and all that. He never existed. It was all bollocks. I read it today.
I actually agree with him on that. Christianity is a cobbled together
A book called
little religion from other things.
Well, it's known as the show Bible. It's our personal Bible. Children of the Matrix by Saint David Icke. Check it out.
In all good bookstops.
Book stops.
Bookshops.
It's been left in a few bus stops. A, because it's heavy as fuck, because it's 500 fucking pages. And B, because, well, you know.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? It's kind of thing homeless people pass to one another.
It's like he's got like a plate of mental shit. And he sprinkles some salty truth on the top. You know what I mean? And that little bit of salty truth confuses you in between like teethfuls of fucking nutty shit. That's probably the best review he's ever had.
Go on the back of his next book.
Sorry, Saint Icke.
Oh, can I go for a piss?
Yeah.
Before we just get into this article, please.
I need one too.
Pissing like a racehorse. So we're back, and it's so this is from Dr. Ethan Trowbridge, who claims to have worked for more than 10 years at the US Geological Survey, believes his former employers and NASA, so he wasn't working for NASA, have been aware of Nibiru for decades but have sought to shield it from public knowledge. He claims that both NASA and the USGS have known about the planet for 30 years, but only a small amount of people truly understand the phenomenon. The Daily Star quotes him as saying, the USGS, which I assume is US Geological Survey, learned about Nibiru after this information came from NASA. We were instructed to check whether the abnormal climate change due to the influence of this heavenly body, and studies provided this relationship. This information is highly classified, and all documents and information concerning it's fragmented and divided by department, so that people working with fragments of this information cannot understand its purpose. I think maybe 40 or 50 employees may have a real idea of what is happening.
Well, who am I to disprove this man? Mr. Trowbridge.
Are we going to find out at the end of this article that he's like some mental illness?
Possibly, but look. In addition, NASA has attempted to debunk the entire theory with a statement basically stating that it has nothing more than a fantasy concocted online. Yeah, but you've changed your tune. Back in 2012, they went into detail as to why the planet didn't exist. They wrote, and here is NASA's rebuttal.
2012 reply.
Oh Christ, it's a big one. Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
thanks.
Hey! So NASA said, if we can get it, hang on, technical difficulties. Nibiru and other short stories. Oh, short story, where did I get that from? I've added that word. I'll start again, and I'll try not to libel NASA. Nibiru and other stories about wayward planets are an internet hoax. There is no factual basis for these claims. If Nibiru or Planet X were real and headed for an encounter with the Earth in 2012, astronomers would have been tracking it for at least the past decade, and it would be visible by now to the naked eye. Obviously, it does not exist. Eris is real, but it is a dwarf planet similar to Pluto that will remain in the outer solar system. The closest it can come to Earth is about 4 billion miles. Now, this backs up what we were saying earlier, that yes, NASA back in the day used to talk about a 10th planet.
Yep.
And then all this fucking Nibiru.
Basically, going back to how my mum was with us, she was really good with our foods, you know, sort of had a really good...
We've been taken over by demons and evil people and strange voices. So yes, this goes back to what we were saying. So they used to be happy to talk about the idea of extra planets out there, but then I think the conspiracy theorists and the online story makers have sort of hijacked this with, it's Nibiru, it's going to kill us all, it's going to collide
us. Anunnaki, they're coming back for us.
To the point where NASA have sort of been forced as, let's be honest, they're probably, if we're going to think about this in a non-conspiracy type of way, NASA are probably just a fairly innocuous agency where it does what it says on the tin. They do space, right? They do quite real things, real science, and they don't want to be associated or dragged in, questioned, name mentioned every time some fucker.
Yeah, they got
like
some,
this.
They got some press conference and they're launching something up to do something or other, launching a probe, and someone goes, "What about Nibiru?"
Yeah. Excuse me, can you tell us about Nibiru and the impending doom of the human race and the destruction in the aftermath of Planet X's arrival, please? Fucking, we made an actual fucking Mars robot that we're gonna send for 10 fucking years through space. It's gonna fucking land and relay photographs, information, fucking actual experiments. We're doing science, you fucks.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's where the NASA, I think it's not even a conspiracy, it's NASA are just like, hang on, we gotta nip this in the bud. We don't talk about the planets that we're looking at that potentially could be planets or whatever. Or maybe they're talking the absolute truth in that quote. Yes, there are other planets, but it's a dwarf one, and what do they say? 4 billion miles away.
Yeah.
It's not planet fucking X.
Well, there is a planet X. And that's exactly what they'd say, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, yes, if it was true, this is exactly...
And this guy's a whistleblower, he claims to have...
I'm open to both. I'm open to both, man.
But how would you silence every single amateur astronomer on the planet? And I imagine there's quite a few of them. It's quite a bit of a hobby, stargazing. Don't you think one of them might have picked up? And some of them have got some pretty sophisticated stuff.
They have, yeah.
So don't you think one of them might have... You're going to bribe every single amateur, even down to the little kid and his dad in the back garden with a little telescope?
Okay then, but how about then, when Planet X does come around, it arrives through a wormhole type...
but they're saying they can see it coming. It's not... It's hurtling towards us.
Until there's actual visual proof.
Yeah.
Bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
I'm open. I'm open.
You're just hoping you're a secret Anunnaki and you don't want to go down pit.
I have this sort of strange superior feeling that I've never been quite able to articulate. Do you know what I mean? I've always felt different in a sort of Anunnaki, I am your leader type sort of way. I don't know. And I like gold. Mr. T, he's definitely got Anunnaki blood in him.
Okay.
He gets a hard on for gold like nobody else.
And curling. The Olympic sport, the Winter Olympic sport, not shitting on someone's chest.
So what do we reckon? What do you think? Is this guy a whistleblower?
Bullshit.
Mike, whistleblower?
Bullshit.
Oh, come on, lads.
He's a science officer, he has to agree with NASA.
Fucking shills. Well, yeah.
I got some AI baiting for you.
You fuckers.
Killer robots. AI experts call for boycott over lab at South Korea University. Academics around the world voice, quote, huge concern over KAIST's collaboration with defence company on autonomous weapons.
They are two words that should never go together. Autonomous weapons. All weapons should have a human behind them deciding whether or not to fire them.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Yeah.
Autonomous, you have autonomous doors at the front of supermarkets.
Yeah, they go wrong half the time.
Yeah, well, exactly. They can't even get that job right? Autonomous, that's not for weapons.
No.
Sorry.
It's not for killy things. It's for malfunctioning doors and maybe a Coke machine.
I don't know, it's a matter of time, isn't it?
Because I'm still not going to... Would you get on an automated train? Oh, probably. We would probably... I mean, I've always thought like trams in the UK, like, do they need drivers? Surely someone in an office can do that with pressing go and stop. Because they don't, they don't go off the tracks. It's just like...
That can be automated, can't it?
That's what I mean, yeah. So there will be lots of things in a sort of utopian society that are automated, but fucking weapons shouldn't be fucking automated.
No.
Because they could turn against the people who fucking made them or programmed them.
Yeah. What if they suddenly develop a conscience?
Fuck me. What if they get struck by lightning like Johnny Five?
Exactly.
And then you got a nuclear fucking weapon out there making cute jokes and fucking trying to live human fucking culture.
And getting a mohawk.
Yeah. And, that's number 2.
Of course.
God, that's an emotional scene where they bait the shit out of him.
They certainly do.
Smash his eyeball with baseball bats and he bleeds and that's a fucking disturbing scene.
It was. I always remember it being quite harrowing.
Yeah, it is harrowing. So back to the article.
Thing is, what you do, you see, it's more like Terminator. You create these autonomous things, and they go all right for a bit, and for 50 years they're fine. Then all of a sudden, you get one from the future come back.
Oh, one from the future. Hate it when that happens.
Yeah, it's the old one from the future switcheroo.
Especially when it's been reprogrammed and all that.
Yeah,
oh god.
coming back to say, hey, I'm going to look after that guy there because we're going to take over.
Terminator.
Yeah, and there you go. It's a slippery slope. But more than 50 leading academics signed the letter calling for a boycott of Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology and its partner defence manufacturer Hanwha Systems. The researchers said they would not collaborate with the university or host visitors from the KAIST over fears it would sought to accelerate the arms race to develop autonomous weapons.
Next quote.
Yeah, you want to take it?
There are plenty of great things you can do with AI that save lives, including in a military context. But to openly declare the goal is to develop autonomous weapons and have a partner like this sparks huge concern, said Toby Walsh, the organiser of the boycott and a professor at the University of New South Wales. This is a very respected university partnering with a very ethically dubious partner that continues to violate international norms.
Wow.
So I guess to read into that maybe the Britain, America, other Western countries have some sort of ethical framework in place that is stopping us from just like, we'll just let the missiles decide for themselves. Let's just fucking build the fucker. And maybe in Korea, they're a little bit more gung-ho and like
this company makes cluster munitions, which are banned in 120 countries under international treaties.
So
and they make them.
So they're not so ethically.
Who are they selling them to though? If they're banned in so many countries?
Oh, rebel forces in civil wars, people that aren't signed up to Geneva Conventions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, terrorist organisations, allegedly maybe, bought under several fronts. Obviously, that's how you buy arms. You don't
probably China, South Korea.
China.
You know, it's North Korea maybe. Although I wouldn't have thought the North. The South could tell the North.
Well,
but maybe that's also a little bit of a paranoia thing from the South. That the North have got more stuff than them, and if they had like autonomous robots that could distinguish friend from foe, then they'd be laughing.
America on their side. Job done.
Now listen,
North Korea got nothing. It would still take a few days for the Yanks to get there in sufficient
numbers. They've got bases
numbers.
all around.
The thing is,
30,000 American soldiers in South Korea. That's not going to stop a full-on northern invasion.
You got Japan, you got Guam.
Oh, Guam,
Hawaii.
Yeah, but it still takes time.
The thing
Seoul's not that far away from the border. Could be easily overrun quickly.
Yeah, and be taken back the next day.
Well, a couple of days later.
Now we talk about autonomous weapons here, and I'm sure our brains go to robo soldiers on the battlefield and that. But we mentioned electronic opening doors at the front of a supermarket earlier. It will literally be autonomous weapon. Literally can be the red beam sensor that you walk in front of, which tells the doors to open.
Yeah.
You walk in front of that, and instead of doors opening, machine guns start firing. It's still quite crude and like motion sensor missiles.
There's the sentry guns from Aliens.
Sentry.
Carbon.
That was
Digital Hotel.
Yeah, he was the best character in that.
Yeah, he was, and they killed him off.
Oh, Mike, spoiler to say spoiler alert.
Wait, I did see an awesome interview with Mark Hamill where he said that whenever, and this is one of the little joys that his life has allowed him, whenever he walks into somewhere like that has the electronic opening doors, and he knows that people have noticed it's him, he will do the Jedi hand motion. I mean, come on.
I like that.
I like that too. If I saw Mark Hamill do that at Tesco's, I'd be like, fuck yeah, come on. You're the man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I would be like, no, I want his autograph though.
What a guy. But, oh yeah, autonomous weapons, they're terrifying. Because drones... So I'm taking a piss saying, look, it'll be like an opening door with a red beam you walk in front of and then do-do-do-do. But it could be a drone that flies itself, picks its own targets, runs an algorithm. We mentioned algorithms last week. Runs an algorithm. Is this a viable target? And makes all that decision and carries out that act without any human intervention whatsoever. Fuck that. I don't want to be... well, it won't affect me because I don't live in one of those countries. I'll be fine here.
Unless we find a shitload of oil in the UK and the Americans decide to invade.
Oh, then we're fucked. Terrifying though, isn't it? Automated. Why would any human want to create something that could make its own decision to kill you?
Yeah, that's it. It's
because they want money. It's greed is so blinding to us all. Fuck.
Well, yeah, because so two countries can then kind of go to war guilt-free because if they both got autonomous robots, no one's getting killed, are they?
No.
So then all that's happening is the government is shelling out more money to buy more robots or trying to make their own robots, and the people in the arms industry getting richer and richer.
Or will it be like episode 1 where, like, say Korea or someone has an army of robots and we have to fight them with humans, so their robots are killing our fucking humans?
Well, they're clones, though, aren't they? I mean...
Well, yeah. Eventually they're clones, the clone army, but, you know...
Oh, it was Clone War, wasn't it?
The Clone Army's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, but that's episode 2. Episode 1, there's no clones, is it?
Well, the clones are there. They've been waiting and ready, haven't they? They just didn't know about them in episode 1.
Yeah, I guess.
Because they've been
but do you see my point, though? That
yeah, I get what you mean. It's like, if they hadn't have had that clone
army... They
army...
didn't have an army, did they?
No, it was yeah, well,
the Jedi?
No, there hadn't been an army of the Republic for like few. It was the Jedi were technically the peacekeepers.
Dooku was making his clones, wasn't he?
So, yeah, it was someone went and I never quite figured out who it was. I think it was Dooku, wasn't it? And he went to the cloning planet and ordered an army like 20 years in advance.
Was it Dooku? Was it?
It was under. It was like an assumed. I always thought it was like an assumed name.
Was it Dooku or the Chancellor? Ah, fuck me. That shows you how fucking complicated those prequels are.
Either way, someone ordered it 20 years in advance, knowing that the robots, the Sith, were going to be making their move.
Cypher it was.
Something like that,
okay.
yeah.
But do you want to sign up, or do you want your unborn son to sign up to go to a foreign land and fight fucking robots? So the other army, all they're losing is money. We're losing actual human life on the robot
and eventually we're going to run out of that.
Yeah, that's
it's a war of attrition you can't win, isn't it? Because you can make them probably by the time they've got an army of these things, you're knocking them things up in a day or even less than that.
To breed and raise children.
Exactly, yeah. And you'll have massive machines that hover over the battlefield and suck up all the smashed, broken droids and just repurpose them and shit them out the back end, ready to fight again.
We'd have to have a baby making factory, wouldn't we?
I volunteer.
Still one of those virile men just pounding away.
Just pumped full of Viagra.
But
I volunteer for that, Dewey.
Me too. But like you said, they'll still take fucking 20 years to fucking grow into a usable soldier.
Unless
or 18.
you have to you go with genetic engineering, and so when they get to like 5, you can start doing surgeries and in gene augmentation, and they're fully grown and stronger than a normal human in another couple of years.
And every female of birthing age will just be in these factories.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a dystopian future for you.
In some sci-fi stories, don't the clones develop super by the time it's 10, it's 20.
I think they have that actually in Star Wars. I'm sure they mentioned that advanced acceleration or hyper acceleration.
So they might have much of a personality, but they'll be programmed.
Killing machines,
anyway.
what we need.
Well, that's it. All they do is they would be like the Spartans in the Age of 8, just trained to be soldiers. That was it. That was all you did. And so
what we're talking about? They use fucking in vitro, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh man, so I don't even get to breed.
Well, you'd have that as well.
You could wank off into a dish.
Whatever.
All day, every day.
To a petri dish.
We do one an hour.
Damn, these robots suck.
You'd really lose the fucking enjoyment after a while, wouldn't you? You'd just be like, oh god, I'm so bored.
You'd have 24 hours of porn.
You'd be able to select what porn you want to.
Yeah.
And you still wouldn't watch it all. You could do it for 50 years, you still wouldn't see all the porn.
No.
Yeah. So either we get autonomous robots and spend the rest of our lives jacking off into petri dishes, or...
So, that's an interesting quote that says up there with regards to who has actually developed them in this story, quote, developing autonomous weapons would make the security situation on the Korean Peninsula worse. Toby Welsh, professor at University of New South Wales. Well, no shit, it certainly would, wouldn't it? Because like you said, like fucking, what did you call them? Sentries. Just robotic sentries along the border, just fucking executing anything that comes near.
Thermal scans, anything, you know.
Animal, mineral, vegetable, anything fucking moves too close. And
remember, you've got that whole demilitarised zone, haven't you? It's a couple of miles, I think.
It's full
of mines, and you know both sides are just sort of stuck on either side. If you've got robot sentries, you haven't got to put people there, have you?
Well, I think this is a mistake.
It's a huge mistake. Should we do the next one?
Yeah.
This one's from the friendly atheist. Televangelist says that with God's help, I brought a dead ant back to life.
Before you read me the article, I'm going to piss on this guy's chips. I'm going to tell him I have a sneaking suspicion the ant wasn't fucking dead, you dick.
It gets worse.
Oh, okay.
This guy unofficially serves as Donald Trump's liaison for Christian policy.
Oh,
and he has a history of saying crazy things.
He's bringing back dead ants.
He once claimed to stop a tsunami from coming onto Hawaiian Island. He blamed AIDS on unnatural sex. He also loves to heal people, like when he supposedly cured a man of cancer in his tongue just by reciting some words on television. And in brackets, no before/after medical records of the man were ever released, of course. For his latest trick, Frank Amida, said he resurrected an ant, a literal ant. He made the claim on Friday's episode of TCT Today. TCT stands for Tri-State Christian Television. Oh God, I bet that's fucking fun. I bet that's a real fucking... There's a video clip, so I think... It's 5 minutes, and everyone wants 5 minutes of this fucking...
Let's have a little bit of him now. Shall we listen?
Yeah, go on
then. Those on the left, the extreme left, they like to take shots at me. They call me the tsunami pastor because when the tsunami was crashing down in Hawaii, the Lord woke me, and that's another testimony, and I raised my hands, and the tsunami stopped, and it peeled and went the other way. Called rain in Desambaru, where it hadn't rained for 2 years. Not a cloud in the sky, and it rained exactly at the hour on a Thursday afternoon the Lord said it would. The resurrection from the dead, 3 people, 1 old man and 2 girls, 2 young girls, 14 years old each. Many people, eyes opened, ears opened, cancer healed, kidneys that weren't there when a baby was born, a kidney and a half came, a heart that was missing, a half a heart that was born.
Praise God.
Incredible miracles of God. But I have to tell you, Judge and TCT family, this was the most incredible. And when I tell you, you're going to say, how could this be it? But it's truth. This is all truth. And before I even give it, I'll have to tell you, there was one woman that heard this in our own church when I came back, because I was still going, you won't believe what happened. And she said, next day, Pastor, she called me, are you sure this is true? I said, sweetheart, nobody in their right mind could make this story up. It had to be God.
Sure.
And what it is, it's the resurrection of an ant.
An ant, an A-N-T.
Yes, not like Aunt Julie.
Okay, right.
It's an ant.
Okay.
Right? We're not being Metro here. This is Aunt Julie.
That's right. We don't want to be Metro.
We're not being Metro. So it was an ant. And what happened was Garth and I were just waiting to go do the baptism.
Sure.
We were waiting to go join the crowd and do the baptisms. And he said, well, pick me up in about 45 minutes. So I ran out on my balcony. I had my gym shorts on. It was a little chilly, but in the sun at the Dan Hotel, I'm out there like this. I put my head back, and I'm meditating and saying, Lord, you're going to do something awesome for these people getting baptized. I want it to be the most awesome experience of their life. When they come up out of that water, I want the dove of the Holy Spirit to rest upon them, and that's how I'm praying. Very, very religious. You know, and all of a sudden I feel this sting on my leg, and you know when you're stung and there's an insect, you do something involuntary. You don't think about it. So I went like this, and I looked to see what it was, and I saw this ant fall down onto a towel that I had put on the balcony so that my feet wouldn't get bit from ants on the balcony. Well, this was a smart ant. It was a Jewish ant. He crawled up. I named him Yaakov. Yaakov crawled up my leg, and I whacked him, and he was laying there, and he was squirming a little bit. So half out of compassion, half out of vengeance, I took this big thumb and I went like this. And I heard him squish. I felt it crack under my thumb, and a piece of it, it was 2 pieces. I went like this and flicked it, and it went down on the towel. So, you know, case settled, assignment over, back like this, praying. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit speaks to me so clearly. It was as clear as I've ever heard. And it wasn't the voice of the Holy Spirit, another theological lesson for another time. It was the voice of the Father. The Father calls me son. And the Father said, son, look at the ant. I looked down at the ant, and as I did, I saw another ant come up over the side of the towel, and it began charging directly at this ant. I mean, it was an ant on assignment. He was moving fast, and he went to this one, and he began to pull on it and tug on it, and it wasn't moving. And then the Lord said to me, son, I hear the cry of an ant. I said, oh my God. Do you understand what happened in that moment? It was that I've always known God to be almighty. We worship him as sovereign. He's the creator. But and we've preached. I hear what a sparrow falls. I know the number of hairs on your head. I know the thoughts of your heart before you say them. I created you in the womb. But when the Lord Almighty, God the Father, speaks to you in Israel and says, I heard the cry of that ant, I began to weep inside of me. I don't know if I was weeping for the ant, weeping for myself. I just began to weep. I broke. Mm-hmm. And then the Lord said, son, take your finger and touch the ant. I went like this, Judge, and I got about this far from the ant. The power of God shot out. The ant that was running around the other ant, he just flew. The power hit him, and he went like this. I don't know where he went, but he was gone. He was airborne. And the other ant, it came alive. And the pieces all were together.
Right, he's resurrected,
and it jumped up on my finger, came up very slowly, my palm, stopped right there as if it was looking right at me.
Wow.
I said, my God, Lord, what are you saying to me? And he said, that ant is appreciative of the fact that you gave it back its life. I said, my God, I'm so appreciative that you've given me back my life.
Alright, can I start?
Feel free.
Right, is he the mentally ill or a fucking liar? And if you're sat there listening to that bullshit, you need your own fucking head looking at.
Well, this was going to be my point. What I find most alarming about what the clip, you've heard it as audio listener, we've been watching the video. So this is the Tri-State Christian Television. They are sat in a sizable studio.
Yep.
A well-presented, well-lit studio. Modern, which all leads me to believe that this is a extremely well-funded television operation. This isn't some bargain basement, public access. These people have got... Television production is fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And they've got the money to do it to a fairly high standard. And what I find alarming about that is that then leads me to know that they have enough listeners, enough viewers, enough supporters, sponsors, for it to be financially viable to spend this amount of money making this kind of shit because there's a fucking audience for it.
Yeah.
That man, and what I find alarming as well is looking at him and the way his voice is and stuff, he's the sort of man I would find trustworthy. An elder sort of guy with that kind of... He looks like a... I don't know, I would listen to him and trust him, not when he's talking this shit, but then...
I found
God, that's alarming.
He wouldn't look at the camera at the start of that tale. It wasn't until he got into it a little bit that he became a little bit more confident in his, let's say, rehearsal of the tale.
That is alarming.
He wouldn't... I was looking at his body language and he wouldn't look up, he wouldn't look at the camera. He had to sort of say, oh, this is real, to them, as if to sort of reassure himself.
What am I to take from this story as
the fact that people are sucking that up.
What's the lesson to be learned from this, Mike? Is it that we shouldn't kill ants, or is it that this man in particular has a direct access to God himself.
That's it, isn't it? It's like he was
That's
bragging.
That's what they all say, though.
Yeah.
Power
Every single
of
one
God.
them.
He did this motion. He whacked his hands together. The power of God,
Yeah.
whack,
Came through
out
him.
at the end of his fingers
Yeah.
like Ryu throwing a fireball in fucking
Hadouken
Street
in a
Fighter.
fucking hand.
Yeah. He Hadoukened the hand back to fucking life. Hadouken! And then, oh man, I'm
Isn't it just
alarmed
there's
by this.
nobody else around when these miracles happen?
It's
Or
strange,
there's no,
isn't
They
it?
never-
Strange,
no
yeah.
film footage.
And you know what? I don't believe in God at all. Period. I think it's fucking fairy tales for morons. I really do. It makes me a little bit of an arsehole when it comes to discussing religion with people. But
You've got your beliefs.
no, but if you're believing that, why isn't God speaking to me then? Going, you know what, my son? You're actually wrong, and I am here. You need to go and spread my message. You're a fucking. You don't believe in me. Why is he saying? Why isn't he saying that to me? Why is he talking to this fucking
You
Fruit
haven't
Loop?
dedicated your life to the scriptures like this, man.
Oh, he's dedicated his life to taking fucking money
Exactly.
off people poorer than
We
him.
know that. We know that. I'm playing devil's advocate.
I
This
know,
is how
yeah,
it's
I know.
justified in their realm. He's a pastor, Ben. A pastor. That means he's not just your average muggle who puts the money on the plate. He holds the plate and asks for the money. He has a special access to God that we don't get because he's dedicated himself. He's so much more holier than you and I.
Yeah,
He is so
he's-
much more spiritual than you and I.
Yeah.
And I loved his own description of how his praying goes. I was like this. I was like this. Ah, la 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 la. And then there's like, what? So you're chatting, but so your prayers are bollocks. That's your own. You couldn't even think to improvise some dear Lord, Father, our Holy Spirit. No, you literally
No,
went
you
la
speak-
la 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 la.
That's because he's speaking in tongues because
Oh.
the word of God can't be spoken by man, you see.
By mere mortals.
If he's conversing with God, he's talking in God's
But it
language.
can come out your fingers like fucking Iron Man throwing a repulsor blast.
Yeah.
Come back to life, ant. And if you discovered that, wouldn't you run out then to the nearest cemetery and just go, Ethel, you're back to life.
It's just,
Douglas,
well, at least the pet cemetery. Start small.
oh, I'd love my old cat back.
I'd like my old dog back. He was great. It's but even so,
That's
the fact that
alarming, isn't
people
it?
and the thing is that they're crooks.
They are
Fucking
crooks and
shysters, they're
charlatans,
crooks.
shysters, they are con men. He can't believe it because he knows that's a lie. He
Yeah.
doesn't truly believe that happened, or he's mentally unwell and he believes things that aren't real. We know he doesn't. We know he's telling that story
Yeah.
on this television program to serve a fucking purpose. I'm sure if we watched the whole thing, I'm sure at the end it'd be like, and Pastor, whatever his name is, Pastor Frank Amida is available for a sermons at the Church of Holy, what's his
Yeah.
name, on 24th Street in blah blah blah, and donations can be sent to www.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Sorry, I couldn't make it all. I couldn't watch it anymore. It was getting the point where I just like,
Interesting,
I
but
can't watch it.
terrifying.
I can't.
I find that stuff interesting in a terrifying way.
It's the amount the wonders in the world and science has achieved for us, and you got people going, oh yeah, I can resurrect an ant.
Yeah.
Send me your money. I mean, for fuck's
And
sake.
lots of little old ladies.
No
brought
one
into the
has
story.
come back from the fucking
Oh,
dead.
Frank, he's so charming, and
It's
he
not
brought
only the
back to
money.
life that ant.
It's not
I
only the
love
money, it's the respect that he gets from
All
people.
the power,
He's
yeah.
a fucking he's a fucking sociopath. Let's have
Probably.
You say it like it is. He's a fucking.
Well, just a
sociopath.
flat out lie. He doesn't even need the. He doesn't need the mental illnesses like the psychopathy, the sociopathy. You don't need that to be a massive bullshitter. You could just be really egotistical, money-loving, power-loving charlatan.
Yeah.
Basically, so fuck that guy. But I'm afraid I might need.
I'm glad you're going to say that because I was going to suggest it myself.
Let's go over a piss and bring back some ants. When that needs to be the
Piss
first
ants.
line when we come back.
So we're back, and what we got the next one? Oh, I know the next one. I'm on a bit of an anti-religion thing today, guys. I do apologise. It's just what's come up in my newsfeed.
It's alright, religion's bollocks. Hey, that's my professional journalistic opinion.
It's an anti-vaxxer quote warrior mom. If vaccines are so great, why aren't they mentioned in the Bible?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Same reason fucking Nissan Micras are mentioned in the fucking
and
Bible.
the internet that you're using to post
Yeah.
this on, the
Fucking
car you
hell.
drive to work in,
Oh
the
my-
TV you watch in the evening. This is the worst argument I've heard in a long time.
Jesus.
And basically, love, you're endangering your kids. There you go. She's a certified NLP practitioner. Neuro-linguistic programming is basically trying to convince people that you're awesome. Just using chat lines to make.
Isn't that where you play a tape overnight? You wake up, you can speak French.
No, it's there's certain things like like the pickup artists, those cunts.
Okay.
So they use it. You like negging is NLP. So you say, I don't know. You go up to some girl and go, oh, your eyes are too bright. There must be contacts, kind of thing. It's like give them a compliment with something negative at the same time, so therefore they're inclined to start a conversation
you're right,
with you.
bitch, but I like your dress.
Yeah, that's why you're single, mate.
Am I getting it quite right, am I?
No.
You got a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. I like your hair.
Alright, desperate damn chin. Nice tits. Yeah, so that, on a more extreme scale, that. But yes, this is Brittany Cara, who is she's also a hypnotherapist, a nutrition coach, and mother. And she specialises in teaching people on how to detoxify their lives through cleansing and superfoods.
Oh, like bananas. They're a superfood.
Apparently.
It's the only one I eat.
We're not going to watch the video for this.
Okay.
I'm not listening to this dozy bin. But in an edited video posted by The Real Truther, Cara offers a never before heard theory on why vaccines are bad. So God didn't give any hint of them in the Bible. I can think of a lot of things you never give a hint of in the Bible. Can you?
I am not the foremost intellectual power on the planet, but I can see a fault in her logic, in her argument of if it's not in the Bible, it can't be that good.
Well, she's recording herself to put onto the internet, which also isn't mentioned in the Bible.
Right. Blowjobs in the Bible.
I don't know, but there's a lot of rape in there.
I think we can all, it's pretty much universally accepted, whatever your fucking sexual orientation, that a blowjob is pretty fucking great.
It is.
Like, awesomely great. I don't think they're talked about in detail in the Bible. I mean, the list could go on. Hulk Hogan is not mentioned in the Bible. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 at the Pontiac Silverdome is not mentioned in the fucking Bible. That was fucking great.
It was great.
It was fucking great.
Yeah.
Not in the Bible. I'm pretty great. I'm not in the Bible.
No.
You guys are pretty cool. You're not in the fucking Bible.
I am mentioned as the Antichrist.
Wait.
He's under a pseudonym.
So she's not going to vaccinate her children. Is that the outcome of this?
Yeah.
Because it's not in the Bible.
Because it's not in the Bible.
Well, she's a cunt of a person, isn't she?
Yeah.
The jury's out on vaccinations for me. I see both sides of it.
I'm the same, yeah.
I see both sides of it, but I'd rather, if my kids are involved, if I had any, I would like to think maybe, well, do a bit of research and think...
Or maybe you just think, hey, I had them, and I'm alright-ish. I haven't caught polio or I haven't got measles to the point where I might die.
But kids nowadays might have different vaccines than we had 30
Well, they do have the MMR, which is a bit different. Measles, mumps, rubella. But still, no one's dying from measles, mumps and rubella, are they?
I'm honestly...
There's a lot more autistic people, though.
But that could just be a result of anything. That could be all the shit food we eat.
I am definitely...
Chemtrails?
I am not...
Chemtrails, yes.
I am on the fence with vaccines. However, what I will say is the reason to choose not to vaccinate your children should not be the fact that you didn't read it in the Bible. There's got to be a bit more intellectual thought in it than that, because you're taking potentially a big risk. We've got to do an episode
I bet
on
she eats
vaccines.
crisps and chips.
Yeah.
Potato wasn't in the Bible.
No, they weren't.
McDonald's.
They
isn't
had
in the
no
Bible.
potatoes.
Yeah.
And she looks, is that her? She looks youngish, I would say,
Yeah.
in her 20s or 30s, late 20s, early 30s.
No chocolate in the Bible.
She looks like a...
No pretty cocktails that she enjoys on her night out with the girls. They're not in the Bible.
Cocaine's not in the Bible. Cocaine is fucking great.
The drug-addled lunatic returns.
Yeah. Oh, those were the days. So
You've got to change the description of the show now.
the loved up
A
lunatic.
semi-married man.
Oh, the drugs will still be there, just only on special occasions. So, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm repeating myself now, but the jury's still out on vaccinations for me. Haven't done enough research. I'm not educated enough on the subject to make a educated decision or opinion. However, I will reiterate that if you're going to decide not to, you need something a little more concrete than it's not in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
Should we
it.
move on?
I hope
Yeah,
the kids
let's
get AIDS.
Do you want to do
Oh!
Should we do the reggae box now? Break it up a bit.
Yeah? Do the reggae
hang
box?
on, I've got the theme.
Seems that envy is my sin. Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box? I just told you. You lie!
What is in the reggae box, Ben? So, what's in the reggae box,
Oh
Ben?
man, I'm doing more religion. It's terrible. I do apologise. It's been very anti-religion for me this week. I don't know what it is.
Don't apologise. I don't think we've got that many hardcore Christians listening in.
But I went to Wolverhampton yesterday, and I got my V for Vendetta tattoo finished off. And as I
Which
was,
is very nice, by the way.
thank you very much. Great work by Chris Taggart of Inky G's. I'll give him another plug. If you are in Telford or the surrounding area, then do go and see him.
If you want a tattoo.
If you want,
Yeah,
if you want
just don't pop in. He's a busy bloke.
He's a busy bloke.
Yeah,
He's just popping to see you, and he's going to book something in with him.
He's got stuff
But
to
anyway,
do.
so I'm walking through Wolverhampton from the train station. I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm, gonna be there for 11:30. It's 25 past. I'm literally on schedule. And I get this bloke approaches me outside the church and he gives me a postcard, which I'm using as a bookmark. I thought, oh, I'll do as a bookmark.
Okay.
And it says, "Yea, though I walk through this valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." And I thought, well, that's a pretty cool psalm, and I'm pretty sure that the Undertaker's kind of gone out to that before now.
I thought you were going to quote Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah, that's exactly what. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realise it's not lived.
I've been laughing and blasting so long.
Even my mother thinks that my mind is gone.
I'm just like Mike rap. But like the person I never thought I'd hear rap, I've just heard rap. I want to get Mike into a rap battle now. He's the next Eminem. But anyway, yeah. So I thought to myself, as I looked at it, right, I thought to myself, well, he's given up his Saturday afternoon to hand out postcards that, for a God that should really be, if he's that omnipotent and present, should be doing it himself.
That's very true. I never thought about it that way, actually. Your leaflets are pretty meaningless when,
Yeah.
when he's got the power to invade my mind.
Yeah, because you're telling me that.
But free will.
Oh, did he give me that?
He gave you free will to decide to go to God or to seek the sins of the devil.
So where does this fella fit in with his postcard?
Well,
though?
you
Is
don't
he-
know, do you? I mean, he's just handing them out, and you're
He's
like,
trying to save your soul. That's what he's trying to do, Ben.
oh God,
Could you
that's a
physically-
waste of time.
Could you describe the gentleman to me?
He was kind of middle-aged. Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to. I was listening to our episode on vampires, actually, as I was walking through town.
Would you say he looked like a sort of person, who wasn't too maladjusted? Do you think you could imagine him having a wife and a home and a
Yeah, he was a
normal
well-built, middle-aged chap. I didn't pay too much attention because I didn't really want to make eye contact, and the hope he wasn't going to give me one of his postcards, but he kind of just went like that, and I went, all right. Yeah.
The power of this man's convictions then are enough to take him on a Saturday, which for most people are a day. It's one of your free days.
In a city centre,
Yeah.
where there's lots of pubs.
And lots of fun
Yeah.
available right there
Yeah.
on your doorstep. Wolverhampton, not the best city in the world, but it's
It's all right.
I've got a special place in my heart for Wolverhampton. This man is giving up his time. He truly believes that this postcard is somehow going to benefit you and everyone else who he gives them to.
Yeah.
Either that or he's just handing out roach material.
Well, it may end up as that, in all fairness.
Wow.
Holy smoke! Oh, I'm on fire tonight.
I have made it. Holy smoke!
But yeah, so that's my reggae box. Just not so much pissed off about it, just more slightly aggrieved.
So what you're putting in, the people handing out leaflets are specifically religious?
I'm giving out the guy who gave up his Saturday because he's been conned by...
Yeah.
He should be sat at home with his wife, or if he hasn't got a wife, sat in a pub watching the football or
He's
something
doing
like
God's
that.
work.
And, yeah, but he's been told to, and
Oh my God.
he didn't stop me and tell me he'd resurrected an ant. And I probably just laughed in his face and walked on,
Well, next time you're up there, you got to play him the little clip of the ant resurrected.
Yeah, I wonder if he believes in that. That'd be interesting, actually, because We ain't that religious in this country, are we? We're not up to that standard. I mean, maybe a few, but not many of us. I mean, even your Church of England followers just show up on a Sunday and make the odd nod, don't they? And they're all dying off. They're all ancient, so...
I wonder what Ant-Man thinks.
Yeah. Oh man, what if that was like number 627?
Oh no!
Was it 627 the one he was flying on?
I can't give it a name. I can't remember.
I don't know. He numbers them.
I've seen it, but
yeah,
he's very sad. I was sad when that ant.
So was I.
Bit the dust in that movie, but yeah. Okay, well, I agree, Ben. Everyone's free to believe what they want to believe, and I do believe that. I also believe you're free to not encroach on other people's time and. You know,
yeah,
people
I even put power walk on, you know.
Yeah, people are trying to get about. They don't want to stop. They don't want to be reminded of that kind of thing.
I'm mentally preparing myself to, for pain at that point.
You won't. Yeah, no, I'm with you. At least he didn't have a literal soapbox and a megaphone. So I saw one of them at Southwater in Telford.
Oh, really?
When I went out to Leona 2 weeks ago, an actual shouty, preachy man.
Oh, wow. Did you have much round him?
He was fairly young. Oh, no one was paying a fucking blind bit of attention. Everyone, I think, it's one of the things where you can tell people are embarrassed for it.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, oh God, no.
You know that'll be us in a few years.
I just walked past him, stopped, looked up, and gone, oh, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, but he was youngish, man. Again, a youngish chap. I don't think he was British from his accent. I'm guessing a sort of, and he was black with a sort of Frenchy. So some sort of African friend, type.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Trying to be sensitive, but you know what I mean. Fuck, those are the facts. Don't judge me. So I was like, oh man, you found your way here. You found a better life. I'm sure you might have seen worse things than the people of Southwater have seen, but can you not see that you are not affecting anybody at this moment? Because people up here have one thing on their mind. Commerce.
Yeah.
They're up
buying
here.
themselves stuff to make their daily drudge seem a little bit brighter for a few hours.
The pain, the machinations of human fucking existence.
Worship the dollar now.
Oh yeah. And he worships me. No, he doesn't. He hates me. The dollar hates me. He keeps running away. But no, I agree, man. Stick your fucking.
Take your oar and take it somewhere else.
Yeah. So that was the reggae box this week. Yeah. Amazing. And we talked about the actual physical reggae box. We'll post the picture later. It's fucking ace.
It is. It's good. It's very good.
So what have we got next, boys?
Did human-chimp hybrid ever exist? Scientist claims humanzee was born in a lab before being killed by panicked doctors.
Oh no, they do stove its head in with a shovel or something.
Holy shit, what have we created?
It lives! Fuck, it works!
Got the fire extinguisher and just crushed its skull. Oh shit! I mean, that's fucking... See, panicked suggests to me the stoving of the skull with a fire extinguisher.
Oh, definitely.
And more, if it was like put down humanely, then they've just strapped it down, given it an injection and fucked off at the room.
It broke its fucking restraints and it got off the table and it was fucking swinging from the chandelier, ejaculating fucking spunk bullets.
Throwing its own shit.
It shits like hand grenades, it explodes and it spunks like fucking sniper bullets.
Like alien acid blood.
It's got the strength of
Am I wrong in thinking that I've heard this before and it had something to do with Mr. Stalin?
It did. He wanted ape-human hybrid soldiers because apes can pretty much they can eat tree bark, can't they? So
this idea is out there.
You're going to supply your soldiers as well, have you? And they're stronger, faster, hairier.
And we'll do, and then we'll respond to, rather than being, appealing to their better nature and the systems of the hierarchical structure. Instead, you use a shock collar.
yeah, pretty much.
And off he goes with his boner. His boner in one hand and his M16 in the other.
His AK-47, remember?
Sorry, yeah.
The Russians.
Wanking and shooting away. Okay, then should we read the... Anybody want to
do the article? I'll go for it. A renowned scientist has made a sensational claim that almost 100 years ago, a human-chimp hybrid was created in a lab in the US before later being killed by panicked doctors.
So not Siberia.
No. Evolutionary psychologist Gordon Gallup claims his former university professor confirmed that a successful humanzee experiment occurred in Orange Park in Florida in the 1920s. that would mean that a female chimp was artificially inseminated with human sperm before successfully falling pregnant with a half-human, half-ape child.
Wow.
Gallup told The Sun, oh man, I've just lost a bit of respect for this. You with me there?
Just now.
They inseminated a female chimpanzee with human semen from an undisclosed donor and claimed not only that pregnancy occurred, but the pregnancy went full term and resulted in a
Someone
live
raped the
birth.
monkey, didn't they?
And that's where AIDS came from! Oh.
Hang on, this also explains Bigfoot, doesn't it? Potentially.
Almost. No, chimpanzees aren't that big.
Yeah, little, aren't they?
Yeah, it'd be half between a human and a chimp, wouldn't it?
Yeah, okay, but then if
So
that humanzee though then fucked a big gorilla, you could have a quarter human, quarter chimp, half gorilla, giant Bigfoot type.
Oh my
creature.
God, it's a man bear pig. half
If
human,
it escaped,
half
though.
human, half bear, half pig.
Wow. So, yes, I mean, I don't know, I'm lost. We've got no way of...
No,
it's hearsay, isn't it?
Oh, hang on. This might give us a bit of the next paragraph might give us a bit of a thing. But in a matter of days or a few weeks, they began to consider the moral and ethic considerations, and the infant was euthanized. So it wasn't the stoving in of its head on the birth table. It was they obviously just give it an injection.
I prefer the first scenario where it broke its shackles and there's absolute chaos.
Yeah, and it can learn. It opens doors.
Yeah, and they just have to unload on it. Fucking.
The earliest and most notable example of human-ape hybridization is the work of Russian scientist Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov, who conducted a series of famous experiments in the 1920s. He inseminated female chimpanzees with human sperm, but none of the animals ever fell pregnant.
Or so we are told.
I was in a few Neanderthal types trotting around.
I was going to say, yeah, man.
Dragging their fucking knuckles.
Yeah.
Chips.
Chips. Unusually hairy as well.
We've got an infant clinging to their back.
Yeah.
They swing.
Several.
They swing down our street.
That's why they keep the Christmas lights up all year.
It's for the babies to swing on.
Dory, I love you.
Let's have a bit more of this because I find this fascinating.
More recently, in 1958, Oliver the chimpanzee was touted as a humanzee.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, due to his unusual human-like appearance. He walked upright, didn't he?
You did?
Okay, I don't know.
He was able to walk upright instead of on his knuckles, and was bald with freckles and a protruding nose, which only added to the speculation. But in 1996, a DNA test revealed that Oliver had 48 chromosomes, the number of a normal chimpanzee.
Wow, I'm going to Google his picture now because I've never seen this. Oliver chimpanzee.
Oliver died in 2012 at the age of 55.
Hey, not a bad age, you're a chimp, that.
You don't know that.
Hang on, I don't know, actually, that's quite young, because I'm pretty sure Cheetah was like 70, you know, the original Tarzan Cheetah. I'm sure that ape was like 70.
That was an ape, though. This is a humanzee.
Good point, good point, yeah.
In between an ape and a human.
I mean, his face, I'm looking at pictures now, his face is slightly more human, I get, but it still wouldn't, I wouldn't be like, oh
my God!
His dad fucked a monkey. No.
His dad fucked a monkey?
Well, his mum did. You know, he's half human, half monkey,
yeah,
isn't
his
he?
dad fucked a monkey.
Well, look at that picture of him there, that's just slightly alarming, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't like that hanging around outside my fucking house that much.
It's given a look to camera that says, I will fuck you up beyond recognition, son. A normal chimp can do that anyway, can't they? Bite your face off. A very alarming thing I
normally go for the genitals.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. They go for soft areas.
I like the honey badger.
Face, genitals, yeah, they will rip off your cock and face. And bite your fingers off too, apparently. Happened to that woman, didn't it, who kept that one. He was her mate, she used to let him drink wine, he lived in the house with
Well,
her.
that's where your fucking mistake is. You don't get a chimpanzee pissed, do
She
you?
had it for years. It's a very famous case. I apologise for not knowing the name of it, but I've heard the 911 call of her friend who was locked in the car calling 911. It is harrowing. The monkey just turned. It ran wild with it. It lived in the house. It was one of them that had it years. And one day it just fucking turned, bit her face off.
What is it? Drank all the wine?
She lived. She didn't die. She had to have her face put back on. But yeah, her mate was in the car, like just like, holy fuck, like calling 911. Yeah, chimps, horrendous. They don't need our DNA.
No.
Don't give them machine guns.
That's how we end up with Planet of the Apes.
Don't give them machine guns.
That's how you end up with Planet of the Apes. Simple as. Damn you! You blew it all to hell!
Damn yous all to hell. Classic.
Dr. Zeus, Dr. Zeus.
So what's
Dr. Zeus, Dr. Zeus.
What's the quote there?
I've also coined what will be the appropriate terms to refer to human gorilla hybrids and human orangutan hybrids, which will be a gorilla and a harangue.
Oh, God.
So he's thinking ahead, this guy.
A harangue, it'd be a fucking nightmare. But while he admits it would be fascinating to see a real-life example of a humanzee, Gallup is unsure whether the costs of such a bizarre and controversial biological experiment would outweigh the benefits. Well, here's a hint, fucko. Of course the fucking costs would outweigh. I mean, just morally, ethically. I mean,
You want Planet of the Apes, that's how you end up with
I don't want Planet of the
Exactly,
Apes.
but that's how he wants it.
Because the thing is, it's one thing creating ligers, you know,
Yeah.
and things
What's
like
that donkey horse hybrid as well? Is one of them?
I don't know, but
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
Yeah, it can't breed though, can it? It's a zebra and a donkey, or I don't know, something. They can't breed anyway.
Yeah.
but this surely, if you're adding if human is part of the mix, then potentially you're talking about consciousness, free will, the sense,
Sense of self.
yes, right. So of course morally. I mean, I'm not even talking religiously. Just like no, don't create something that could potentially be both. Is it an animal with thought? It would be a tortured creature, wouldn't it?
Well, then we could create an underclass of. Then we could be our slaves.
You know what, Mike, you're laughing about that. It'd probably fucking happen.
So they wouldn't be clever enough to escape their slavery, but they'd be, stupid enough to be
and hopefully give a mean blowjob. Sorry, nobody else is going to.
Depends if the face is more ape or human.
I don't care.
Yeah, but they're doing quite hairy.
If it looks human but it's got a hairy back, I'm game.
As long as it doesn't bite it off, I'm fine. Like.
But if it looks like an ape but is smooth, then
You can shave your apes, mate.
I suppose if you had a reasonably feminine looking one, you would shave it in all fairness.
How the fuck? Men chimps and women chimps don't look any different, do they? Facially, at least.
Yeah, but this half human, half
So what, you want a chimp with long eyelashes?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's hypothetically, I'm not
I
interested.
think the
I think it's a
females
terrible
have just
idea.
got a more sort of protruded anus.
He'll have a lapsed one when you finish with it,
Well,
Mike.
he wouldn't, because his dick's in another dimension.
Hey, my dick's in another dimension. My dick's in another dimension.
Mike has a multi-dimensional penis. It's just one of them things.
Just toddle off one day.
Other than some scientific experiment of being as you are the science officer of the show.
Well, I'm feeling every sensation because we're quantumly entangled.
They do say no smoke without fire. So I'm led to believe that whether they were successful or not, I think old Stalin probably did.
Oh, he did try it. They definitely tried it.
So I don't know. I don't want them to keep going down this road. I'd prefer. I don't know what I find more horrifying, this or the autonomous AI. Or what do I want?
What about the spider goat?
Hello.
I don't want I don't want an 8-legged goat.
Because they use it for the
silk,
don't they? Yes. Now should we elaborate on that? Remind me.
It's just a goat that instead of producing milk spins webs.
Because it's been genetically fucking crossed.
Yeah,
but imagine a goat's body with 8 spider legs and spider eyes. How freak is that?
I saw a black widow at the exotic zoo the other week. Never seen one in real life.
Very tiny, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were big, scary bastards. They're even scarier because they're not that big.
Yeah.
They're just evil.
I think we did about it last week, because they are the most evil spiders, aren't they? They hide when you're at the most vulnerable, then they strike.
Yes, and it was hiding, yeah. So I was just shocked with their size. So anyway, back to humanzee.
You don't want to wake up with them huntsman spiders on you, do you?
They're them giant cunts that hide down.
And that was that bloke set his house on fire trying to kill, do you remember?
Yes.
That a weird news thing. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Because I think we can all agree this is just horrifying.
I would just like to say to the scientists, stop sticking spunk in chimp fannies. It's going to end in tears.
You're going to end up with that Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Ghost ships filled with dead sailors make landing on Japanese shores.
Oh fuck! I've heard about this shit.
It says
before.
video. Now, what video? Come on. I know this is an audio medium, but if there is...
No, it isn't what you think it is. It is actually. It isn't actually ghost ships. It is actually just boats that
are filled with unidentified dead sailors, assumed to be North Korean fishermen.
Oh wow, that's dark.
The so-called ghost ships have been regularly washing up on the shores of Oga, a city in the peninsula Icke prefecture. This year, however, has already seen a dramatic rise in the number of discoveries. Since December, the remains of 35 people have been found aboard 103 wooden boats that drifted onto Japanese shores or were discovered in its territorial waters. A total of 13 of the dead have yet to be identified. One of the sombre overturned boats in Oga was captured in eerie drone footage by RT's Ruptly video agency, which is Russia Today, I'm taking it like. Some North Korean fishermen have been found alive aboard the vessels, while the remains of others have been discovered in a partially skeletal condition. Wow.
Fuck me.
So are they trying to escape or just...
Yeah.
Oh shit, they're trying to escape now.
Yeah, and end up dying at sea and then washing up on the Japanese shore.
Fuck, because it's not that far away, is
No.
it, from Japan? Because I was just thinking, how long does it take for the remains to be... So it was not long enough... So someone was still alive, so it was short enough time to still be alive, but it was still long enough for some of their colleagues to be skeletal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it doesn't really know how much fuel they give them to go out, doesn't it? I mean,
I bet they
maybe
don't
they
have
only
any
give
supplies.
They're just wooden boats, aren't they? Paddles and...
Oh shit.
Fuck, so no wonder they got fucking famine then. Yeah.
There's like... temperatures can drop to below freezing and sea conditions are so stormy it is impossible to safely sail in the boat these fishermen are using.
Wow, this is a wooden boat.
Yeah. So this one is not so much a conspiracy, more of a political socio-tragedy, like reality.
Look at the bottom. It's got a dark story, really, but it says at the bottom, if you like this story, share it with a friend.
And that brings us to you, dear listener.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. This will cheer you up. This will hear the story about some dead North Korean fishermen washing up in boats.
Oh, fantastic.
Fuck me. That is horrible. Everything about that's horrifying. If you try and think about the reasons why they're leaving, how desperate they are to just jump in these wooden things with no provisions, I presume, and just hope for the best. It's a better choice to them than... I mean, oh Christ, it reminds me of there was a line in the Black Panther movie where the bad guy says, "Bury me at sea like my ancestors who knew it was better to jump from the boats to their death than live a life of bondage."
Yeah.
So it's the best when your options are so shit that death is the best one. I mean, these guys in these boats, the best option for them was to get in these fucking boats and make a go of it and try, and obviously it didn't work out.
No.
Wow. Whoa. So I'm glad it's not what I thought. I thought you were going to give me another story like the ghost planes of last week. It's better? As in it's real.
It's real, yeah.
But, God, that's tragic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, we'll move
Fucking
on.
hell, let's have a swig and I think I'll be a little bit grateful for where we are right now. Christ.
Well, the plan to hang world's tallest skyscraper from asteroid orbiting Earth unveiled.
Oh, I am.
What?
Yeah.
Plans to suspend the world's tallest skyscraper from asteroid orbiting Earth have been unveiled by an architectural firm.
Whoa.
Analema Tower would be hung using reinforced cables from a comet 31,068 miles above the planet's surface, with the orbital path taking the building in a figure of 8 pattern over various cities including New York and Havana.
Fuck that, what if the comet slightly goes wrong,
So the cable snaps.
No, but it's a regular orbit, aren't they, comets?
Well, I suppose it's fixed. It
The
doesn't...
Hades comet always comes back at the same
Yeah,
time.
what if the cable snaps?
Well, then you're fucked, aren't you?
Yeah, he's going to drift out into space.
But then, that would at least put the fucking flat Earth fucking...
It would,
Yeah,
it would,
conspiracies to bed, wouldn't it?
Very true, that's one thing. Jesus, we're not running out of space that badly, are we? I mean, this...
Not quite yet, but it's getting there, isn't it?
The
It's,
outlandish design has been created by Cloud's Architecture Office, the same company behind proposals for a house on Mars and a Cloud City.
Ooh, I like Cloud
yeah, I was
City.
literally about to say Cloud City and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
They're the
Yeah,
guys
go for that.
They're the guys who built that.
Building from the sky down will overturn the established skyscraper topography, the firm says.
Oh, you reckon?
Through the course
Just a
of
bit.
history, humanity has been able to affect the environment on increasing scales. The proposal suggests building it in Dubai due to its proven ability to construct skyscrapers at a fraction of the cost of the US. The Analima Tower would be set up in sections, with the point closest to Earth being dedicated to entertainment, shopping and dining. Above that would be office space, while the middle compartments would be used for gardens and residential spaces.
Why have you got an office space? Why you got I can understand the bottom being the shopping district,
There are
alright, you've got to have
also-
one somewhere, but why you got an
Also
office
plans
space?
for a place of worship
Oh.
at the very top of funeral section.
Well, you got to put them somewhere, aren't you? Yeah,
That is fucking sci-fi magazine style. Magazine. That's 2000 AD.
It's Arthur C. Clarke, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Didn't he propose a space elevator?
Oh, the
Yeah,
elevator, is that where it
Yeah.
comes from?
It comes from his books, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew of the...
But to
theory
do that,
of-
you've got to clear up all the cosmic debris.
Well, it might be a good
Well, it
incentive.
depends if the cables, I think they are.
Yeah, but it slams into the skyscraper, then it's going to do
Because
some
remember,
damage.
as discussed on a
The
previous...
sky- I
A
don't
fleck
think
of paint
Yeah,
travelling around
that's
the
what I
Earth.
said. We
can go-
discussed-
if it hits it, can go off with the same force as
Ah,
hand grenades.
is a
Smash 'em.
skyscraper in space or is a skyscraper just on Earth?
Well, no, because it's
But
going
even
to-
the cables, if
It is.
something hits those cables that are in atmosphere... So let's say the
on
cables are in
the
atmosphere.
on the picture there, it's got it coming off the Earth.
It does, yeah, but
So some of the rooms in the office block would be off-world,
Yeah.
really, wouldn't they? Wow.
The
I think
sky-
I'm going to need a pin in this. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I-
well, we can wrap this one up
yeah,
first.
Yeah.
the skyscraper will be so big that daytime at the top will be 45 minutes longer than at the bottom
Wow.
due to the curvature of the Earth.
So fuck you, flat earthers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think it's an amazing idea, but
Well, yeah, it's literally coming. It's not connected to the Earth, is it? It's just
No.
literally.
No. What I'm trying to say is the cables just in space.
So the cables would be like
Yeah.
anchoring the comet to the Earth,
or
surely?
bits of the building.
No, anchoring the comet to the skyscraper.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's not connected to it.
No,
It's
not
literally
connected.
hanging off a
I'm
rock.
trying to say
that
the
would just be
human.
swinging round.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of being do an 8 shape across sort of like New York City, Havana.
You want to hope that orbit never changes. Something
You want to
knocks
close
it
on a
up.
passenger jet?
What if something hits the comet?
Well, I think they'll figure it out, won't they? They got air traffic control.
Well, I know, but you know,
They're
accidents
gonna know
happen.
they're gonna know the exact path it takes.
Wouldn't you get a bit fucking sick from that?
Nice idea, but the reality of that is, I mean, how do you even get up to the comet to attach the bits to the comet?
Well, with what we do now, we send probes to space, don't we, into the
I
planet.
guess it's expensive. Right,
Well, it's an interesting idea.
I'm gonna have to have a pee. On
Alright,
that note,
we'll move on to the next one.
I will
after
pee in the
break.
face of their technological advancements.
And we're back. So carry on with some weird news, and then we'll move on a little bit. From the Metro, which is the paper you get on the train and the bus,
Yep, for free.
for free. I like the Metro actually. It's alright. Well, it's an alright read when you're on the bus.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't buy it. But anyway, headline: Vicar caught on camera watching porn, sniffing cocaine, and using a crack pipe.
Wow. What a legend. What a fucking legend.
Yeah. A Church of England vicar has allegedly been caught on camera appearing to smoke crack, snort cocaine, and watch porn. The Reverend Stenick Kirby, 64,
Legend.
was filmed in the £1.5 million vicarage of West Ham Parish
Oh,
Church
lovely.
in East London, which he lives in, so he's got a free £1.5 million house to live in.
Nice, yeah.
In West Ham, which is, I'd argue, not one of the most affluent areas of London.
No, but 1.5 million.
If he's got a £1.5 million church
Then
slash
again-
house,
Then again, the house properties in London are absolutely insane.
yeah, there is that.
Did someone pay like £30,000 to live in a cupboard?
Something like that, yeah. Harry Potter style. So yeah, he has been the vicar of the church since 2007 and is considered a respected member of the community. He's coming on sick leave for unknown reasons. Rehab, I'd imagine.
Can I just say, not is considered, was considered.
Yeah.
It does say is.
Yeah, not anymore.
No. In the shocking footage obtained by The Sun on Sunday, he appears to be smoking from a crack pipe before he straws to snort a line of white powder as he relaxes with a friend. At one point, he seems to be watching pornography and says, "All I want now is for a woman to be sucking my dick." That would be nice. And we've all thought that at some point, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just about to back up the vicar. Well, his next quote is, "How much would a woman cost to come here? In other words, if I really want it, then I'll pay for it." I'm going to back him up a little bit here. Is one of the strange side effects of Class A drugs is horniness, like insane horniness. So yeah, I totally see. It's the ladder of progression. He's, you know, smoked a bit of crack,
done some coke,
snorted a bit of cocaine, and he's quite naturally feeling horny as fuck. And you're also obviously your inhibitions. If you think your inhibitions disappear with a bit of alcohol, you try a line of fucking coke, and Jesus Christ, suddenly paying for a woman. It's not as out of the box as it might seem. Now then, you add onto it that he's a vicar, then yes, maybe you should be judging him, because probably should have the brains to not do this sort of thing when someone is filming.
Yeah, or not just do it at all, you know.
Oh no, do it, but just keep it fucking hush. I mean, use your noggin. I mean, even your bog standard. I mean, your average bus driver, he can't shout about his weekend drug usage because it will affect his job. So if you're a fucking vicar of a £1.5 million parish, like, fucking hell. And who was filming? Someone obviously close to him, or the dealer.
Him in, haven't they?
Somebody knows that this is a potential story. Someone's like, I am selling crack and using crack with a vicar. I'm so going to secretly film this.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. And he's off on sick leave anyway, so I'm guessing his mental health isn't...
well, probably because he's in rehab.
Potentially. How's this going to work out for him then? Oh, I like the next quote. His friend reportedly then says he prefers prostitutes to relationships, which unmarried Mr. Kirby, who is currently on sick leave from work, agrees to.
I was going to say, his friend then? There was almost a friend saying that to the press, is he?
The footage then seems to show him talking about his plans to go into central London and buy more drugs. He says, I'm going to Soho with my mate for dinner. I'm going to sex shops to get some poppers. Oh man, why do you want poppers in the mix?
Is poppers a universal name, or should we explain what poppers are?
Actually, I'm not. Animal nitrate, not animal. Something fucking like that. Anyway,
isn't it like furniture polish kind of shit?
Well, the rumour is, I've used poppers several times, and the rumour always is that it's a muscle relaxant which you inhale nasally, and people say that it relaxes the muscles to the point where it's quite useful for homosexual sex. Whether that or not, that's the reason. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean anal sex. Sorry, I didn't. That's what I meant. Anal sex. Sorry. So whether that's what the vicar's planning, I don't know. It does also give you a high, but when you're already on crack and coke, I don't see that poppers is going to even touch you.
No. Why does he get a head rush or I don't know.
Yeah, very brief head rush.
Hand him around at clubs and I'll have a bit of that, whatever. It just gave you a bit of head rush for about
we sold
20 seconds and that's it.
Literally thousands of pounds worth of it on my years at the festivals. It wasn't my store, so I wasn't making that money, but I, as the salesman,
so is that like I'm not, forgive me because I'm a bit naive on that. I've never had poppers. I know that I've been at places where they're passed around. I know it's not a drug as such. It's more like solvent abuse to a point.
Yeah, the legal.
It's something that
is legal. The way you are legally,
is it a legal high?
The way you are legally allowed to sell it is. It will say on the packaging, room odorizer.
Yeah.
And the official story is that you open the bottle, you leave it in the broom, open, and it odorizes the broom. But people don't do that. People put their nose directly over the bottle, close the other nostril, and take a good old inhale of it. It gives you almost an instant headache as well in some, but it's just a really quick high. It's basically your poor man's drugs. It's when you're in a festival and you were not able to get any drugs in, you don't know anybody there, but you want to feel a bit of something, you buy a bottle of poppers. It's a bit of a laugh, which is what I just find surprising, that when you're already on crack and coke, that you're going to want some poppers. But I'll continue with the article. Reverend Stephen Chandler, an associate minister at the church, spoke to the congregation this morning in the light of the video being released.
Oh, so he's not on sick leave then?
He said, by now, many of you may have heard of an article which has appeared online today concerning your vicar, the Reverend Sennett Kirby.
Oh, so it's talking different dude, sorry.
I am trying to support Stennett pastorally at this demanding time for him, and he is very much in my prayers. and Bishop Stevens of Chelmsford, as are you all here at All Saints. The article contains some serious allegations with regard to drug taking and other matters of an ethical nature. I mean, it's funny. It's a funny story, but it's also
It's
tragic.
funny because a priest is meant to be.
Yeah, that's
above
what's
all
funny.
that sort of thing. But I don't
Clearly
really care
not.
what people do in the
No.
as long as they don't hurt anybody,
Yeah.
I don't care.
If it doesn't
It's
affect
affecting
your
adults.
ability
Affecting
to do
me.
your job. Yeah, nobody in this story gets hurt. The only thing that gets hurt is his reputation and potentially his employment. But I'd say the dude, you know, if he's on top of it and he's having fun and he's doing it for purely is recreational, then we can't really say anything to him. If the guy,
He's got an
if it's
addiction.
turned into an addiction and it's affecting his ability to have social relationships and do his job, then it's a bit more of a tragic story and the dude needs some help, whether he's a vicar or not.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's fed up and listening to everyone else's problems.
Maybe he's realised that everything he's dedicated himself to is built on a horrendous fucking lie,
That's
and the
also a
lies
point.
come from the top, and he's feeling racked with guilt and confusion.
Yeah, he's 64. He's wasted his fucking life, hasn't he? If
Yeah.
you realise that. So
That could be
64.
quite unsettling.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm unmarried. What the fuck? You know,
Yeah.
I prefer prostitutes. You know.
Well, as long as he's on top of it and no one's getting hurt, I'd say yeah, go for it, man.
Right. So
Bit of Sunday sport headlines.
Sunday sport headlines.
Hey, should we, just in case it's someone's first episode, give a little brief description? The Sunday Sport is Britain's premier
Sunday newspaper.
newspaper.
And we would use the word news
Yes.
lightly.
It's akin to America's what's it
Weekly
called?
World News.
Yeah, Weekly World News, that kind of thing. It's
What
to
it-
be taken with a pinch of salt.
Whatever that one is they look at in Men in Black, National Enquirer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that rings a bell.
when he throttles the pug.
It's our version of that, and it's fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
So, do you want to hit us with it,
I
Mike?
will.
What's the first headline?
Bong. She was giving me a hand job at the wheel, then just went berserk. DIY sex robot crashes Corsa.
And a Corsa is a tiny little car made for sort of teenagers, really, isn't it? They love a Corsa, the
It's a
teenagers.
small little
So look,
hatchback.
it's an old people's car or a little or teenager's first car
Young
that he
people with
suits
no
up.
money, yeah. It's very, very
Little
economical.
Eurobox.
Very economical, very small. So hang on.
You can get some ones with meteor engines. You can,
There is a lot
Not-
to unpack here.
but, yeah.
This man was on the economical ladder where he was driving a Vauxhall Corsa
Yeah.
vehicle.
It's not what I
Yet-
had as my first car, let's put it that way.
Yet he also had the funds for a robot,
A DIY.
a robot with the fucking capabilities of actual mechanical wank
Yeah.
movements.
Yeah, it could just be like a lever that moves up and down.
Yeah, but that's
with a bit of a grip. You know what I mean?
Imagine like the Terminator arm
Yeah, but where'd you get
without
one of
skin.
He can make
Terminator arm without skin wanking you off. That's not odd. That's
put
not
electrical current in it, it'll go up and down.
Yeah, man, you always be a
So
piston
he-
with a rubber hand on it, for all we know.
So it's a DIY sex robot,
Yeah.
and instead of testing it at home in the garage,
Yeah.
he
he
thought,
was like, I've always wanted to get wanked off while I'm driving.
driving me Corsa,
So he sets up his sex robot, he gets on the
which
motorway.
could just be, like Mike says, a hydraulic arm,
Robo
a
arm.
hydraulic metal arm. With
So
a,
maybe
with a
sex
rubber
robot.
hand.
So sex robot's a bit
Front of
generous.
yellow fucking.
Marigold.
Marigold. So yeah, sex robot's a bit generous. It's
It
a
is.
fucking robotic arm. It's a lever with a doll's hand on the end and a rubber
It's
glove.
made to plug up into the.
Into the
glove,
12-volt
into the-
cigarette lighter.
And the worst thing was he couldn't charge his phone.
No, you can get an adapter now with two.
Oh, right. Oh, God. Wow.
Charging his phone and getting wanked off.
That's the dream, guys. That's the dream.
So then it went berserk. Did it what? Let go of his cock and grab the wheel, right, and send him off the road, or it just started wanking him so
I
ferociously
think that's the one.
that,
Put a speed control on it.
and the picture of the car is on its roof, so they flip the car.
Yeah.
What I want to know is the most pertinent question, and this is why I'm a journalist, chap. Did he manage to ejaculate?
I'd imagine he did
before the car
in the danger of the car rolling. Probably that's the ultimate danger wank, isn't it? The car's rolling over and there's spunk flying everywhere.
So, but the thing is, the way, like with gravity, so as the car flipped over and he started to see the asphalt coming towards his face and his world was upside down, he literally also came in his own face. So he saw the road and the cum convalescing in one hellish impact.
Oh, so he ended with whiplash and a bukkake face.
I hope he had his seatbelt on.
I hope the airbag kicked in. He might have just got it on his neck.
Yeah, because you want to protect the wank robot. I hope I had a passenger airbag. I spent 6 months building that.
I doubt it on that model course, it looks quite old.
Yeah, the reason he's driving such a shitty car though is because he pays life fucking fortune. His life savings is
Into a hot car to wank.
A wank robot.
Well, he can just do it himself. Stop being lazy.
As I have iterated before on the podcast, what is wrong with your basic bog standard wank? Nothing. Stop trying to get inventive. Just be happy with what you've got. Yeah. It works fine.
What I want to know is why somebody saw that article and decided to put a sad face.
Probably the dude who was getting the answer.
It's probably robotics professors.
Oh man, I spent 600 in that.
That was my best student, and this is what happened to him. He had such a promising career ahead of him. He was going to go to the top of MIT and the top robotics industries in the world. Instead, he's getting wanked off on an A road in Wales somewhere.
He was going to build autonomous killbots.
Not autonomous wank bots. Who just wank off anybody who walks past. I'm married, I don't want a hand job. Oh, well, if you insist.
Show the next one.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
Bong. Banned from every pub in Burley for shitting in crisp packets.
Now, I know we've had this one before, but I don't like Burnley very much because I'm a Blackburn Rovers fan.
Well,
so Burnley people are effectively demons in my eyes.
And they shit in crisp packets. Rather than, I mean, they were already in the queue for the loo. I personally would have left the queue for the loo if I had to, gone into the alleyway or anywhere down the side behind the pub and shat there, rather than got my friend to hold open what is quite frankly quite a small opening to a crisp packet while I placed over my large fat ass. I'm not large and fat.
They are.
The girl in the picture is. And unleashed what I can only imagine was a kebab shop's
I think about it.
A month's worth of kebab shop eating type poop into a crisp packet. Well, at least it didn't shit on the floor. Say what you want about Burnley, Ben, but at least she had the good grace to reach in her purse and say, "Yeah, no, it's all right, Shirley. I got a crisp packet. You can shite in that. Don't shite on the floor."
That's a shame because I thought Burnley, the floor in Burnley was literally covered in feces.
It probably is.
Certainly is on the football pitch.
Well,
I mean, no, I can't say that. They're doing well. No, well, fuck them, their shit.
I think that rounds up our tour round.
Our weird news odyssey.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. We have that was just a selection of some of the weird shit that we'd like to start our show with every week.
And we've had sort of lurking around for a while as well. It's not a while, but
yeah,
it's unused. It's a bonus episode of weird news.
Clearing out the archives so we can start compiling some more.
That's it.
Weird shit.
Do you want some Never Go Full Alex?
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Never Go Full Alex.
We'll finish on our favourite feature where we like to... Well, the feature is called Never Go Full Alex because, as you know, dear listener, or if you don't, you should know, if you want to be a successful human, you need to try to never go full Alex Jones. You
No.
know, you can go partially Alex, and you can dip your toe in and investigate, but never go full Alex. We like to play you a selection of videos, 2 videos, one from Alex Jones and one from another random insanist Mike's found on the internet.
I know this guy.
And we have to decide who's chatting the most insane shit this week, the random guy or Alex. Never go full Alex. So who we got lined up first?
We've got the firefighter prophet Mark Jones. Another. He's the guy that said that he was told in a dream by the Archangel Gabriel or something that Trump was going to be president.
Right.
He's the firefighter prophet. He used to be a firefighter.
Firefighter.
Mark Taylor, that's it.
Okay.
I haven't actually featured this story in a weird news back a while ago.
That does ring a
ago.
bell, actually, you saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have him first then. Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
So we'll hear
We
him.
don't need to dignify him with Mr.
We'll hear from him, then we'll hear from Saint Alex Jones, and we'll decide who's babbling the most insane
Can I just
shit.
say that he looks very red-faced?
Yeah, he's a fireman, dude. He's been next to a lot of very hot things.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow? It's science.
Fair enough, I suppose. Just didn't think he was a burn victim.
Oh no, not necessarily burn victim. It just means standing next to heat. Whew.
No, fair enough.
Get a bit of a temp. So what's he saying, Mike?
That frequency that Satan sent out on November 8th, I believe has to do with that DNA part. Because their DNA, I mean, people will say, well, I have the DNA of Jesus Christ. Well, yes, you may be saved and this, that, and the other, but you have to cleanse your bloodline. And the only way to do that is like what Melissa's been saying, is through the bloodline repentance. So you want to be able to truly have your DNA handed over to the Lord and yield it over to the Lord Jesus Christ. Because what's happening right now is that I wrote that prophetic word not too long ago about Satan's frequency. And people are picking up on the frequency of Satan right now, and they're hearing the plans of the second heaven, and they're prophesying it or promoting it as the plans of the third heaven, which is just not the case. And this is what happens when you're tapped into the enemy's frequency. Now, what does that have to do with DNA? Well, because the goal of the Freemasons, the goal of the Illuminati, the goal of the globalist is to change your DNA. They want to change your DNA so that they want you to hear what they want you to hear, see what they want you to see, and speak what they want you to speak, act like they want you to act. They're wanting to totally control you, and the only way they do that is through the bombardment of these frequencies. And it could be through music, it could be through the news media. That's why I keep telling people stop listening to the mainstream news media, because it's Satan's frequency. And this bombardment of frequencies that we have going on right now, it's been proven scientifically that it will literally change your DNA. And that's what's happening to a lot of Christians. This is why you're getting a lot of Christians that are bashing Donald Trump, or they can't see what's going on, how God is using Donald Trump to help change America. They can't see these things. They can't discern. It's because their DNA is being controlled right now by the enemy, because they're being bombarded by these frequencies.
Mike, you gave me an odd look there during that, so do you want to elaborate on that? Well, you give me a disparaging roll of the eyebrows
It
almost.
was just a bit where he said that it's making people hate Trump.
Well, I don't think it's the frequency.
No, it's people seeing Trump for what he is, a charlatan.
Now then, I'm going to agree with one thing he said. No, not really. The idea of though,
I was going to leap over the table and Superman punch you at that point.
Yeah. I would have ducked and rolled you up in a small package.
I would have been an RKO, obviously, fair enough.
The idea of mainstream media and all that being a frequency, a bombardment of, I don't necessarily
actually, that's the one point I did agree with you on.
I don't think it's changing your
not
DNA.
agree, but it's not changing DNA, but you're right, yeah.
I don't think it's changing your DNA, however, I do think it's affected your mental chemistry, your mind, your opinions, your general feeling. So the idea that these frequencies, rather than changing our minds and maybe subconscious things like that, actually physically changing my DNA.
Been proven, science, he said.
Through...
He didn't give a source though, did he?
And this guy used to be a fireman, so we have to take him seriously.
Oh yeah, and a prophet, guys. Don't forget he's a prophet.
Wow, that's an interesting
Just like
idea.
Jay and Silent Bob.
But why do you need to change my DNA to control my mind?
You get it on the right frequency, the satanic frequency they want you on.
Well, David Icke, as I was reading this morning in the seminal book, Children of the Matrix, frequencies, the world is operating on frequencies. I'm gonna sound like a fucking moron now, and you know, there's that old thing that people like to wheel out of like, oh, we can only see 5% of the spectrum of UV light and all this stuff. So yeah, there are frequencies. Can those frequencies change my DNA? Do you need to change my... If you change my DNA, do you not... Instead of changing my mind and my political affiliations, aren't you going to turn me into a rhino or a sheep or something? Do you know what I mean? Changing my DNA changes my
whole
biological
being,
structure, doesn't it? So yeah, bollocks.
The only thing that does change DNA is radiation.
Yeah.
And it causes cancers.
There is a downside. That's the infusion of radiation to human DNA. That is a downside.
Yeah.
And that's a mutation in my DNA, isn't it? Cancer.
So I think basically he's saying this is scientifically proven, but yet has no. I mean, even us three sat here with our. Well, obviously, Mike, you're more qualified than we are, but we're going, well, hang on, if it's changed our DNA, then we're going to end up like mutated in some way. Or
it's done through music, so if you listen to a bit of Bach, you know what I mean?
I think he's talking more about Justin Bieber and Beyonce.
We need to change Ben's DNA immediately. Get me the reggae CD, Mike. Red wine.
Oh, don't you fucking dare sing UB40 to me. There's one thing I can't stand more than reggae. It's white boy reggae.
He's going to come in next week with dreads, isn't he? Hey, man.
Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Bull in the post-truth apocalypse. I apologise.
He changed his DNA.
With me as always is Gazman. Rascal Gazman. What you doing, man?
Wagwan.
Wagwan Gazman. Hello, Ben. Are you okay? Yeah, man!
I'm on the reggae frequency now, man.
God, I would just shoot myself in the face.
Come back, bye 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 bye.
It's all got the same riff. It's all got the same fucking riff.
Ah, God bless you.
Oh. So, what do we need?
I think you mean Satan. So, okay, let's listen to Alex, shall we?
Alright, see what Alex has to say.
Oh.
Alex Jones sounds the alarm about talking chimeras.
I think that Alex might win this one.
Humans won't be told, and the Congress won't discuss, and there will be no law, but a total void on all the genetic experiments.
Just a few weeks ago, I called a press conference, and I brought up the fact that human-animal hybrids is one of the biggest threats to our species.
You see humanoids, they're like 80% gorilla, 80% pig, and they're talking? I never told the story on air because it's so fantastical. Oh, God. They had in tanks people with gills, and they're little babies, and they were in there just gulping, clawing at the sides. You see a turtle at the zoo, and it wants out, and you feel for it. They got humanoids crossed with fish and stuff. I mean, we are screwed, people. The cross-animal-human hybrids. Part human, part ape, part human, part monkey, part human, part dog, part human, part insect, part jellyfish. That's part human, part insect, part human, part reptile, part human, part fish. Putting human DNA into corn. I'm pro-human. When I was covering spider goats, they're creating aliens on this planet. Human-animal chimeras are gestating, just like an alien. Human-pig hybrids for organ transplant to develop into monsters with our brains. Humanoids gestating in the bellies of cows, pigs, sheep, in the uterus, in utero. You think they're wearing spacesuits down here on Earth? At these facilities where they're doing the human-animal chimera testing? No, they're not. It's wild. I'm forcing human-animal chimeras out. Human-animal hybrids, cross-species chimera. Human-animal chimeras. Animals have rights, and humans have rights. But chimeras, cross-species, are in the dead zone. There is no law. And of course, the humanoid is made part cow, so it doesn't have rights, but it's a human. You think they want a discussion about animal-human chimeras? I said, I don't believe we have a colony on Mars, but we've already, with chimeras, human-animal hybrids, created stuff that's alien here on Earth. I'm Alex Jones, and you have been warned. Human, insect, amphibian,
you know that
fish,
first clip?
porcine, pinniped, crosses with mammals and birds, ornithologists, all of it.
Ornithologists?
Yo, that first clip, I genuinely thought he was cutting a promo for The Undertaker, Gaz. I thought he was cutting some weird, obscure promo for The Undertaker's return.
I like that bit where he says no.
That voice. It was just, I was like, he should be a wrestler. He should be a wrestler.
I
still take him on a boxing match.
I love this fake cry.
Yeah. I love it where he says, why no one talking about chimeras?
They got human babies.
80% gills in tanks. Abe Sapien seems alright though, doesn't he?
Apparently, 80% gorilla, 80% pig. How does that work? That's 160%.
And they can talk. They got rights.
Oh, can I just say that I'm going with Alex on that?
I
but
think
the winner's Alex.
Alex takes the fucking crown this week. He is chatting some shit.
It's a coin the Mancunian indie phase of the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck me. I know humanzees came up earlier, and I did see an article not long ago that was not from a conspiracy site. It was I shared it on Facebook about a human pig embryo thing that they're doing. I think their reasons are for growing organs, that type of something.
Spider goat.
Spider goat.
Whoa.
Does whatever a spider goat can.
So he thinks there's humans in the bellies of cows being grown. What's the purpose of that human cow man?
He's saying so they got no rights, so...
We use them, as came up earlier, slave labour.
Yeah, think of all that milk.
But they've already got human slave labour, Alex.
Yeah, it's called the prison system.
And we're waking up now, aren't we?
They're trying to build a prison.
So the globalists,
you and me.
The globalists are like, right, we need a new slave, we'll build chimeras.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe they'll back engineer Neanderthals or something.
I'm going to, at the risk of sounding a complete moron now, that word chimeras, to me, chimeras an area. How's he using that word?
Are you thinking of Crimea?
That's what I'm thinking of, thank you, Ben.
Chimera is a mythical beast that was used on medieval heraldry, so you might have a lion with an eagle's head.
Oh, okay, like a griffin.
A griffin, exactly, that's a chimera. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I love this pod. I do actually learn things most weeks.
And usually it's used in medieval heraldry to, so we might have we're lions and it's like family houses, badges get incorporated into,
Right.
And it looks, and let's face it, you've got a fucking griffin on your shield, you look a bit badass, don't you? You know?
Not bad.
You're showing it off. Look at my griffin, that's my house.
Turtle with a lion's head. Yeah, it's got a shell and it's a bit lion.
I actually forgot there's chicken with teeth now.
There are?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, rarer than chicken's teeth.
Because they went back, there was a gene, like back to the dinosaurs, that's where they originate from, and they turned the gene on to give them teeth, didn't they?
Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know much about it, but I've heard about it.
As long as they don't turn on the gene to make them as tall as a 4-story house.
But imagine the breast off that. Oh, it'd be lovely.
You got 4...
Yeah, how are you going to kill the fucker?
Well, with a harpoon gun, obviously.
You got 40-foot chickens in sheds, and they don't know why they're so big. Alan Partridge there.
I fucking hate Alan Partridge.
Oh, God, you're missing out, man.
I'm not missing out. I used to find Steve Coogan funny.
No, Alan's a great.
Or Ricky Gervais for that, man. Fucking hate that cunt.
I do believe Alex takes the biscuit there.
He does. We unanimously, Alex has won that round.
Because the other guy was misguided, but...
No, he was just a cock.
No, I think, here's my take is, like I said, mainstream media, music, or the media you're exposed to, we've discussed it.
I do agree with that to a point. Yeah.
That affects your mental makeup.
Do
Whether
agree
it
with that to a
affects your
point.
fucking DNA.
No, I don't think we're at that point.
But it definitely affects your mental makeup. So
it was affected his mental makeup. He's probably an avid Alex Jones listener.
This is absolute proof, though, that Alex is such an amazing actor, and he doesn't.
What is Bill
this
Hicks?
Stuff. He does not believe any of this stuff. He has got so much content to create, so many hours to fill, 4 hours a day, and every day. Think about that. I mean, we find it quite easy once a week to come here and fill a few hours, but if the pressure was on, the red light's on, every day we had to do 4 hours of it, right? That's a lot of shit you got to make up. A lot of one-line articles that you find online that you turn into 40 minutes of what's the word? Speculation.
Plus, you and I will be hungover. Imagine the fucking.
The dude is impressive. Is all I'm going to say. He's an impressive actor, writer, charlatan, businessman. But fuck me, if anyone takes what he says.
Well, I watched an interview with his ex-wife on the David Pakman show on YouTube.
Okay.
And she was basically saying that he's a narcissist.
I can believe that, yeah.
No!
Yeah, I know, yeah, well, it's obviously narcissist, egotistical. He said that he's actually dangerously paranoid now.
Wow.
He says that, you know, she actually says that he actually believes this shit.
Well, it's like
I don't know. I bet
it's like
some
the
of
wrestling heel thing. Wrestlers get lost in their personalities, don't they?
Well,
they're someone else in the ring, and
they spend their lives blurring the line between reality and fantasy, and eventually, for not all of them, but some of them, the weaker ones, that line becomes permanently blurred. And
I mean, she's not going to have anything nice to say about him.
Of course not.
They're divorcing, and it's a nasty divorce.
But I can believe that he's paranoia with, because let's be fucking real. He's got the current president of the US
listening to his show,
right? So that puts you in a different league and all that. I can believe him being paranoid about, you know, bums under his car.
He must know. Yeah, he must know that he's monitored. Heavily by the state. Do you know what I mean?
So I can accept that.
Well, the president listens to his show and watches his show. Allegedly.
And the amount of subscribers.
He called in, dude.
Did he?
Alex, I'm not wrong. Alex, while he was in office, currently, well, as he is currently.
Well, I don't know about that. I know he did when he was on the campaign trail.
Oh, was it campaign trail?
I don't know about once he got into office. Okay. Maybe.
But
I'm not sure.
We'll have to fact check that. Well, remember, we haven't said it yet. You, listener, are the fact check.
On the campaign trail, he did.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But is that just to get the Trump supporters on his the Jones listeners on his side?
Of course.
No, it shows you that
before
Mr. Trump got involved in all this campaigning to be president, he probably spent his nights eating pizza and ice cream in bed, watching Alex on YouTube, thinking, "This guy's got it, man. This guy knows the."
I need to get into politics.
You know, fuck. Yeah. Well, we love you, Alex. We really do love you.
I will still fight you. I will still fight you, Alex. Though I want to
you beautiful mad bastard, Ben. I've got to. If you really are going to fight him, you need to let me take the role of
Mickey
manager. Yes, Mickey. I can't train you, but you need to let me try and get you some training with actual. Because honestly, I think Alex does some training. I think you're going to be surprised. I think. He might maul you in the first 10 seconds. No, we need to put in the work.
Well, obviously there'll be training, yeah. We don't know you start have a.
I was going to say, if you just turn up tomorrow.
If you're going to turn up tomorrow,
I think you're in trouble.
Few months training, you know.
Maybe a year.
No, a few months.
Honestly, I think a year.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bird, you'll be fine.
You can say that as many times as you want. It won't help in the midst of an actual fight.
I've got a mean fucking southpaw, mate. I'm all right.
All I'm saying is, there's a lot of combat schools in our town, as any town, and we'll sign you up to one.
Fine.
So yeah, I think we should wrap this bad boy up. It's been a fun one. And if this was your first one, we should probably say, if this was the first episode you happened to listen to, tune in next week. Normally we would pick one subject, do a bit of weird news like you've heard tonight, then pick one subject and deep dive into it. Basically, what I'm saying is, tune in any week, and we like to try and entertain each other in the room.
Yeah.
Which hopefully means it's entertaining for you, dear listener. So, I think we should wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
And try and get out of it. Over to you, Benny boy.
So I've been Ben, not Benny boy. I've been Ben. I'm going to say, don't drink the Flavour Aid, don't join a cult, and please stay classy.
I would say, free Biff Tannen. And I'm not going to explain why. And see you next week.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
Thank you for listening.
Woo.